Hi guys, you are welcome back to Kinaland. My name is Adeyemi, and for the next 30 days, we are going to be learning how to create better emotional scenes with our creative writing skills. So, to put this in perspective, we are on a 30-day creative writing challenge, and for the next 30 days, I'm going to be teaching you and taking you through the process of evoking emotions in a better and more professional way with your creative writing. So, we are going to be starting with foundational emotions like joy, sadness, and fear. We are going to be learning how to bring forth these emotions better in our creative writing, in our creative stories. Now, before we go straight into business, I'd like to let you understand a few things. The major writing technique that we're going to be consulting throughout this challenge is the show, don't tell technique. If you don't know about show, don't tell technique, a quick summary of what the technique is about is that instead of actually telling people how a particular event went, instead of actually talking about what happened, actually show your audience what happened. I could actually give a few examples now, but I would not want to make this video unnecessarily lengthy. Another thing I want to mention is that if you'd love instant feedback and you are looking for a community of people where you can be rubbing minds with throughout this 30-day challenge in such a way that you get feedback, you get corrections from not just me but from other writers, then you can get in through the link I'm going to be dropping in the description space. All right, the final thing I want you to note before we start discussing is that it is impossible for you to get better as a writer or to even enjoy the full dividends of embarking on this challenge if you don't write. You need to write, you need to apply everything that you are learning so that you would know if you are making any progress. You definitely would make progress, but you wouldn't know until you actually start writing. So, that being said, let's get to business. All right, so for the next 3 days, that's today, tomorrow, and day three, we are going to be looking at the joyful emotion in particular. We're going to be looking at the joyful emotion. Now, as a writer or as a storyteller, if you want to make any passage, if you want to write anything or tell a story that would evoke any emotion at all, not even just the joyful emotion, the first thing to do is to give the emotion a name. I need to make it clear that talking about bringing emotions into your creative writing does not necessarily mean that people must be sad or you must make people sad or you must say things or do things that make people cry. It's just trying to say that, any form of emotions should be brought in, and these emotions can cover joy, sadness, whatever kind of emotion it is, but we are focusing on joy. Right now, as I was saying, after you've given the emotion that you're trying to push a name, then it's time to determine the characteristics of that emotion. So for example, a joyful face is accompanied by a wide grin. A joyful environment is accompanied by the outfits people are wearing. A very good example of a joyful environment would be a party, especially a Nigerian party. So you might want to describe the outfits, the conversations of people, the loud volume of people's conversations with one another, a live band, the DJ, the decorations, all of those things put together. Anybody reading all of those things would know that okay, this is a joyful situation going on without necessarily saying it is a party. Now, look at it from this perspective, right? If you are watching a movie and they are showing a scene, you are watching a scene where it's a party going on or a wedding going on or something similar, it's very rare for anyone to actually literally make a statement that this is a party or this is a wedding ceremony or whatever, but the qualities you see around, right, would let you know what kind of environment it is. In fact, storytelling is so beautiful that the qualities of the environment can actually let your audience know if it is a truly happy moment or it is a fake kind of happy moment or it's a sarcastic kind of happy moment. You understand? So that could be a person, you could take that up as a personal challenge. You could decide to even create a sarcastic kind of happiness or a fake kind of happiness or a faint kind of happiness, right? You could take that as a personal challenge. So just to do a quick recap, you've identified that you want to talk about a joyful situation. You've identified the different kind of attributes of a happy face or a happy moment or a happy gathering or happy people. Now it's time to apply it into your writing. Now, one thing you must take note of, especially according to the show don't tell rule, the show don't tell technique, is that at no point should you mention exactly what you are trying to do. Instead, you are to show it, right? And this should be easy at this point. So instead of saying that when somebody came in, or when you saw somebody, they looked very happy, especially, for some of you, if you are still finding it hard to get story ideas, you could just decide to look at your daily life. So if, for example, the happy story you want to write or you want to tell is about something joyful that happened in your life recently, you don't want to say that because something happened or something happened you were happy or somebody was happy. No, instead you say, okay, let's have an example, right, of a guy proposing to a lady. That is a very, very happy moment. So if you decide to write on something around that, you can say that, okay, the guy went on his knees and she couldn't believe her eyes, and the drips of, or the drops of water rather, the drops of water, or the droplets rather, of water from her eyes, accompanied with a wide grin, was the best way she could express herself. Okay, that was that was a very rough ending. So, but what I'm trying to say is, the truth of happiness that we are pulling out here are the tears of joy and the wide grin on her face. So it might even need you to either look for a scene where somebody is being proposed to, or try to imagine being proposed to, or remembering when somebody was being proposed to, and try to specifically highlight the qualities you saw. Try to specifically highlight the things you saw on their face, or how they looked, or a scream that they let out, or how they put their partner to themselves in the hug, in order to just communicate the fact that they were super duper happy. All right, so the benchmark of everything is that at no point should you actually mention happy or joyful or joy or anything similar to that in your story. Just show it. Explain the qualities or the characteristics or the attributes or the responses or the reactions of the characters of your story that made you decide or that will make your reader to decide that this person is happy at the moment. So here is your assignment. You need to, at this point, you need to start putting together ideas of stories. If you are looking for story idea, the best way to find story ideas is from your day-to-day life, right? So think of an happy moment when you got an admission, when you were discharged from the hospital, when you finally got a job, when you finally decided to start something, when you found the courage to stop something, all those moments, right? Or whether you're present at the joyful moment of a friend, or you're at a party. I mean, I've used that example, so it should be easy for you to pick it up from there. Write about that situation, write about what happened, who said what, how did the person they were talking to react, right, to whatever they were saying. So make sure that you do, anybody reading that story should come to the fact that this was a happy moment, or the characters were happy, or what have you. Just try to paint your words around that. Tomorrow we are going to continue talking about how to create a joyful moment, how to create a joyful expression, how to connect your audience into a joyful mood, especially using wordplay or comic approach, which you might know as comedy, right? How to bring in comedy into your writing. My name is Adeyemi once again, and this is Kinaland.